Hey yo, welcome to PCV Mac. It's a little bit of a light show this week. James isn't here today because he's got stuff changing. We've actually got to change when we're taping the show. We just couldn't get that straightened out for this show. It's hopefully that's straightened out by next week. We'll just see. Okay. There's a story we apparently missed last week, which is Microsoft is now doing Mac versus PC comparison stuff. I've looked at it. It's Microsoft. To give you an idea, I didn't even know this was going on. It's like somebody yelled at us in the comments last show. They said it's called Mac versus PC, and you're not even covering that Microsoft's doing Mac versus PC comparisons. No, I didn't know Microsoft was doing this. That's just, it goes to show how bad
I'm surprised that commenter knew. I didn't see it in the news anywhere. I didn't see anybody who really cared.
I'm sure it went through the Twitter scope one day when I wasn't paying attention. It's like, it's on, but everybody was like, so what? You go to the Microsoft page and there's now having fun, simplicity, working hard, compatibility, sharing, yada, 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 and so forth. And it's basically, they're comparing... it's easy to use a PC and yada yada and so forth, and I'm just, I don't know. It's like, what is it? Secure.
I don't know what to say on this. It's just not interesting.
Yeah, I would thought, and I could have gone completely missing it and really not have cared. But I don't know. That's, and as you can see, we don't really have anything to say on this. So we'll provide links to it for people who want to look at it. But I'm not really sure what to say there. Go for something with a little more bite, so to speak. This is a funny story. What is it? Supposedly, and this is a story that's still going around Google News and the Twitterscope and everything else. I think it's been retweeted probably 1 million times by now, and that is iPhone users have more sex. And this is an interesting story, to say the least. There's a couple of weird things about this story, and I don't really know how to cover this story without sounding like a troll and a fanboy, and yada yada and so forth. Basically, what happened here was a singles site did an analysis of, I believe it was Plenty of Fish or whatever. Oh wait, it was OkCupid. My bad. Yeah, the dating site OkCupid basically did statistics of where the pictures for the profiles are being taken from, and they found that the bulk of them came from iPhones. Second on the list was Blackberries, and then after that was Android devices. And basically what they're saying is, by this statistic, iPhone users are having twice as much sex as Android users. I'm not sure how signing up for a dating profile through a free dating site means you're having more sex.
I suspect that the inverse would be true.
And the assumption is how many dates they're having and how many people they're contacting. It's like, apparently, one of the things that goes through in this story is iPhone users are having to date more people and therefore having more sex. So apparently, if you're having if you found a girl and you're staying with her, and you're not going through the annoyance of, I have to go get new poontang tonight every single week, you're having less sex. It's like, as somebody who's been both in and out of relationships over the years, I will tell you, when you have a regular relationship, there is more sex versus the uncertainty of, okay, I gotta go pick her up, I gotta go outside, I gotta convince her to come home with me tonight, or convince her to take me home. It's just, and now we've lost our G rating, folks. It's like, teens, you might want to tell mom and dad to leave the room for this conversation, because I'm sure some of the people watching this are kids. The other thing I find interesting about this is this is entirely based on the tag. And all Android devices don't tag messages. Let me ask you a question. I sent you an email earlier today.
Yeah.
Did that email say sent from Android device?
No, I put that on there specifically.
Okay. See, that's the thing. One thing I've noticed about Android devices is, for the most part, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, have the common decency not to toot their own horn about being an Android device. I don't know if this is true for the photo metrics. I'd have to actually go in and check. But it's like the three platforms being compared here are iPhone, BlackBerry, and Android. And that's one of the things that annoys the hell out of me. It's like every time somebody on an iPhone sends me a message, I know, because their iPhone brags to me. It's like, and when they take a picture, it's in the metrics, taken by iPhone. It's like, an iPhone feels the need to brag. And the whole world has to know that an iPhone did this. Same thing with BlackBerry devices. The whole world has to know that this was done through BlackBerry. It has to tote its own horn. Android's like, I'm just going to do the thing. I don't need to take credit for it. I don't need to claim I invented it. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, the only reason that I added it onto my signature was just because I thought it was funny.
Well, no, that's the thing. I guess that's the thing. When it comes to that stuff, I wonder how. And again, I'm wondering in the metrics here. As the other thing is, this is an online dating site. Here is my personal opinion of online dating sites. I'm not saying nobody gets luck with online dating sites and other stuff, but my honest assessment of them is they're largely a waste of time. They really are. And I mean, if you've had a different experience than you've other son, back in high school, we talked. Me and four other people went together and went and created dating profiles. The goal was to try and find a date. All of us managed to find a date. One of us found someone that came about that close to marrying. The other four of us got dates from hell. It was like everything they said in their profile was a lie. And, you know, then you have ones like e-rejection that goes, we use our dimensions of compatibility to assure that you don't belong. I let someone talk me into doing it. I find it hysterical still to this day what sites like e-rejection approve and don't approve. It's those of you who go back to the really early videos. I do. Tiny's gonna kill me for saying this, but I tried to set up an e-rejection profile. He set up one. For some reason, e-rejection thought he was the ideal match for women, and apparently I'm touched in the head. Now, I'm not saying I'm anything special, girls. And for the few chicks that are watching this, but go back and look at the early profiles of the person I call Tiny. And honestly ask yourself, on a blind date, would you rather date him or me? I'm just saying, because according to the 29 dimensions of compatibility, you'd rather date him. I'm like, I don't know any chick that would honestly say that off the top of her head.
It might have you a little peg on. That's very much you're touched in the head, though.
No, I know why e-rejection rejects my ass. They're using that psych profile thing, which a little known fact about that is 20 to 25% of the human populace are not an all this or all that person. And by that profile, they're unquantifiable. It's the thing in that profile. If you're taking psychology classes and other things, you take that, and they're told this will be incorrect 25% of the time. It's largely right, but there's times where you're going to have to use your years of experience in schooling and training to actually figure out. In other words, you're actually going to have to work. The profile is not 100% and yada yada and so forth. And they're only interested in people who fit into the psychological profile box. I'm one of those people that part of my personality is I actually think on every single question I'm asked, even a simple yes/no question, which is one of the criteria for not fitting into that psychological profile box. I'm kind of proud of that fact, but apparently it's a bad thing. Anyways, so the only reason we're covering this story is I want to know what all of y'all think. Do you think this story has any merit whatsoever? Do you think it's accurately counted metrics? Do you think more dates means more sex? I don't know.
I'm going to tell you that what I think is that it's bad data leading to an irrelevant conclusion. So.
Yeah, but isn't that the whole of the internet? It's like...
Touche.
It's like... And it makes all the iPhone users happy, because they're like, it's like, if we're honest, an iPhone is largely a status symbol. It's, I have the new bling. It's like, so that type personality, and I'm not speaking ill of any of the people watching this who have iPhones. I know a lot of you do, and I know a lot of you don't. And I'm not saying this is atypical of iPhones, but the iPhone user that is bought an iPhone just because it's the new pretty shiny just strikes me as the type of person who would go, how many notches can I get in my belt? When it comes to that type of thing. Okay, we've spent enough time on the sexual practices of the I world.